Measles is a disease that can cause ear infections, pneumonia, and in some cases, even death. According to the Center for Disease Control, there are 3 to 4 million people that were infected with measles every year before vaccines were invented. With vaccines, that number dropped to just 55 in the year 2012, barely 1,000% of the original cases. But measles is making a comeback, with 4 times as many cases reported in the last 2 years. Why do you think that is? Because more and more people are choosing to forego vaccinations for their children, thanks to a concerted effort known as the anti-vaccination movement. The anti-vaccination movement is exactly what it sounds like. It's an effort by people who believe that vaccinations cause more harm than they prevent. The movement is just as wrong as it is dangerous. Forgoing vaccinations not only puts your children you love at risk, but it also puts everyone that they come in contact with at risk as well. As a father of 2 young children, I'm very interested in protecting them as much as I possibly can. I have a responsibility to God to make sure that they have the best chance at a long and healthy life. So I've done quite a bit of research on the anti-vaccination movement, and I'd like to tell you why it should be rejected. With the proper context, the reasons for opting out of vaccinations may seem like they make sense. Some celebrities have even advocated for the anti-vaccination movement. Others cite a 1998 paper which has linked the MMR vaccine to autism. Still others focus on the ingredients that are in the vaccines themselves and really rely upon fear and misinformation to make them appear dangerous. I'll tell you why these arguments are invalid and why they should ultimately be rejected. First, I will explain what vaccines are and exactly how they work. I'll also provide examples for diseases that have been eradicated or nearly eradicated by vaccines. Then I'm going to highlight some of the ingredients commonly found in vaccines and discuss whether they're linked to any health issues. Finally, I will address a scientific article that linked vaccines to autism and explain how it has been thoroughly rejected by the scientific community and debunked by subsequent studies. So first off, what is a vaccine? A vaccine is a biological creation that is designed to improve the body's immune response to certain diseases. Vaccines have 2 primary benefits, both of which are very important. First, they help prepare the recipient in cases that they are exposed to the disease in the future. Second, they help to stop the spread of otherwise highly contagious diseases such as measles. How do vaccines work? They work by triggering a response from the body's immune system. In a healthy immune system, white blood cells can identify foreign substances that are dangerous and destroy them. In doing so, the white blood cell is able to remember the substance and how it was able to be destroyed. And they'll store that information in case the substance is encountered again. A vaccine can trigger this response by introducing a dead, non-toxic, or significantly weakened version of that disease into the body, which allows the immune system to recognize it, tag it, and destroy it. What do vaccines contain? Aluminum. The vaccine will contain other components which are designed to make it safer and to improve its effectiveness. For example, aluminum salts can increase the body's response to the vaccine, which allows a lower dose to be used. Formaldehyde. Formaldehyde is sometimes used to inactivate the bacteria or toxins to make it safer. Thimerosal is used while the vaccines are created to prevent contamination and growth. And I'll discuss later, thimerosal has been removed from nearly every vaccine. There are some other ingredients as well which are used to help stabilize the vaccines. So what are some of the benefits of vaccines? Let's talk about smallpox. According to Science Daily, smallpox killed between 300 and 400 million people in the 1900s. However, with vaccines, smallpox has been eradicated completely by the year 1977. Polio is another one. And although it's not completely eradicated, vaccines have significantly reduce the disease. Consider polio, which caused 20,000 yearly cases of paralysis before the vaccine. Now it's eradicated in the United States, but exists in other parts of the world. Diphtheria, similar cases between 100 and 200,000 each year, 15,000 of which resulted in death. Now, according to the CDC, there's less than one new case every 2 years. Similar results can be found with measles and mumps. What are the arguments against vaccination, and why are they wrong? So the first argument is unsafe ingredients. So why is there a pushback against vaccinations? A component of the anti-vaccine movement argues that the ingredients in the vaccine are unsafe. However, this has been studied extensively, and no significant safety issues have been found. Active bacteria and toxins. The primary ingredient in vaccines, which is the ingredient designed to trigger an immune system response, has been either killed, detoxified, or significantly weakened. In the great majority of cases, the side effects of a vaccine are redness and a very low-grade fever. However, in some cases, there are more significant side effects. Vaccines are not 100% perfect because the immune system of every person is very different. Aluminum. So aluminum helps to provide a stronger immune response, which allows less of the active ingredient to be used in each dose, and it ensures the maximum benefit of the vaccine. However, because it is a metal, the idea of injecting metal can be very scary, and it's a common target of the anti-vaccine advocates. But aluminum is also present in drinking water, food, and even the air. It's been used for over 6 decades in vaccines and has been shown to be very safe. A healthy person, even a baby, will process and eliminate aluminum without any problem. Formaldehyde. Formaldehyde is used to inactivate bacteria or toxins in vaccines. It's commonly thought of in connection with preserving bodies for funerals, and so it is thought to be kind of scary to associate it, with being injected into a body. But the truth is that the body processes it very naturally, and there's some amount of that in our bodies already. Most formaldehyde is removed from the compound before the vaccine is actually administered, and the amount that remains is much smaller than the amount that is already naturally found in our bodies. Thimerosal is another very common target of the anti-vaccine advocates. They argue that the ingredient is linked to autism and that the government knows that is very dangerous, and that's why it should be removed from nearly every vaccine in the United States. While it is true that thimerosal was removed from vaccines in the U.S. in 2001, this was done as a protective measure. While its side effects were being studied, no scientific evidence has ever linked this ingredient to safety concerns. In fact, the World Health Organization deemed it to be safe, and it's still present in many vaccines administered outside of the United States. The MMR paper. Kind of a little background on this. Even though the overwhelming majority of scientific evidence points to vaccines being safe, a 1998 paper is often cited by advocates of the anti-vaccine movement. The paper, authored by British Dr. Andrew Wakefield, suggested that there is a link between the MMR vaccine, which is mumps, measles, and rubella, and autism. Why this is wrong. Subsequent studies have been done by several prestigious institutions and did not find any link whatsoever. After the paper was published, Wakefield was found to have a conflict of interest because he was paid about $92,000 for the study by a group that was pursuing a lawsuit against the vaccine manufacturers. In conclusion, vaccines have helped to prevent many deadly diseases. Public health relies on as many people getting vaccinated as possible. When more people choose to go without vaccinations, there becomes an exponentially greater chance that diseases will spread. Refusing to vaccinate is really based on junk science and harms not only children, but everyone around them. Thank you very much.